Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Broken Sword 2, and when last we left off, Nico prevented George from being sacrificed. His sacrifice would surely have brought the god within the smoking mirror back to the world, and that is a very bad thing. And while I'm on the subject of very bad things, I don't know what Kazakh hopes to achieve by freeing this god. There are many promises of power that are being thrown about, but being a god of death doesn't really bring lots of power with it. I think the one thing that the god of death would bring is lots of death. I don't know if Kazakh is just deluding himself into thinking that he's going to gain copious amounts of power by freeing this god, but I'm calling it now. Things are not going to end well for Kazakh, and not because George and Nico are going to do something to kill him. I think the god himself is going to kill him. But that's just a guess, I've no idea, because I've never stepped foot into this temple. To do that, we're likely going to have to free George. Let's try and go in without George, though.
The entrance to the house of the enemy. I hadn't been so close to pure evil since, well, last autumn.
It really wasn't that long ago since you and George stopped the Neo-Templars from trying to take over the whole world.
I wasn't going to leave George to be sacrificed.
No, you are not. We are going to let George go. First, let's have a conversation.
Hold still, George. I don't want to sacrifice you by accident.
No idea how glad I am to see you.
They were going to cut your heart out. I think I can guess. We can save the happy reunions for later. We've got to move. Come on!
We're safe.
This is a dead end.
We're toast. I know, Titipoko. I'm not too happy here either.
He knows this is Tezcatlipoca's pyramid, the house of the enemy.
Well, we can't stay here like rats in a trap.
And we can't go out the way we came in. It would be suicide. I'll have a look round. Maybe there's another way out. In the meantime, take this. It's the Coyote Stone. It might bring you luck, I hope.
You managed to recover the stones from the village? Then we might have a chance after all. Incidentally, what would Titipoko have done if Graciento had moved?
Titipoko? Nothing. He's given up violence.
So we need to find our way further in. That said, we could just leave.
Outside was certain death.
And we can't go into that certain death?
Outside was certain death.
That is a shame. I was expecting the game to give us the opportunity to walk outside, and then for George to be sacrificed. But no, the game isn't going to let us. Let's have a look around, shall we? Maybe we'll find some way to move further in. That is most certainly something we can look at, and it seems very important. But for now, we can look at this.
By the door was a pattern picked out in blue.
Can we do anything with it? It's worth a try. Probably not, though.
The pattern meant nothing to me.
What about this one?
On the wall was an intricate pattern in blue and gold.
I bet we can't do anything with this one either, but we'll try.
The pattern seemed to have only religious significance.
Fair enough. Let's have a look at you two.
It was Titipoko.
Yes, it is. And George.
It was George, just rescued from certain death and not looking suitably grateful.
I imagine he's still recovering from the shock at nearly being sacrificed.
This was a time for action, not talk.
Indeed, but I'm going to try and talk anyway. Let's talk to George, if we can.
George?
Yeah?
There was nothing I wanted to talk to George about just then.
I imagine we're going to have to activate a conversation topic, and we'll be doing that, I wager, by looking here.
There was a large image on the wall of a man in ceremonial garb. More usefully, there were also a couple of levers.
That is useful. Let's have a look at them.
The lever was made of stone.
That is going to be heavy. Let's try and use them.
Oof, the lever was very difficult to move and appeared to do nothing anyway.
Probably because we're going to have to use both of them at once, and Nico can't use both of them at once, so we're going to have to get George to help us. But let's try the other one anyway.
Heave! Still no good.
Let's ask George, shall we? Maybe he can help us.
Georges?
Yeah?
And he can! I'm sure nothing terrible will happen when we open the way further into this building and try and stop a god of death from being unleashed on the world. Things are most certainly going to get worse before they get better.
Georges, I can only pull one lever at a time, and I think we need to pull both together.
Okay, I'm up for that.
Oops.
Raoul, there's something suspicious. This sacrifice! Where is it?
Nico was here with Titipoco. They set him free. I couldn't stop them.
You idiot! I should have strangled you at birth. Titipoco's gone soft. He wouldn't have hurt you.
I know that.
The darkness of this sun is almost upon us, and we have no sacrifice to appease Tezcatlipoca. Have you any idea what your incompetence will cost us?
I think so. And I'm glad.
What?
The Mayans weren't fools. Tezcatlipoca should stay exactly where they put him.
Finally got some backbone from somewhere, huh? Shame it's so late in the day.
I'd rather die than see you and Karzak with that devil's power.
Fine, we're still a sacrifice short. See, the eclipse begins. Pablo, kill him! This Tezcatlipoca can feed upon his yellow heart.
Nico was right all along, but it's still not too late. Come on then, Pablo. Let's see who sacrifices who.
What place is this? I was in some sort of strange room. Tiles and dials. The priests who designed this place must have known how to use them. I was going to have to figure it out for myself if I ever wanted to get out of here.
We've fallen into a massive puzzle, haven't we? This is going to be one big, massive puzzle to end the game off on. Also, I don't rate your chances, Raoul, against Pablo. He seems quite a bit stronger than you. Can we go back the way we came? It's unlikely, and we're also very alone.
It was the great stone head that had spat me out. It reminded me of an ex-boyfriend, on both counts.
Let's see if we can climb back up.
The chute I'd arrived on was too steep and slippery to get back up.
Fair enough, we can't go that way. And the screen scrolls for quite a bit. Let's have a look at this, shall we?
The room was dominated by an enormous device, decorated with the usual Mayan motifs. It held two great discs, each covered in glyphs.
And the glyphs do not repeat on the two discs. There are some here, and there are unique ones here. And there are things over here that we can look at. Let's have a look at these as well.
There were several tiles with glyphs on them.
Can I activate them?
The tile didn't want to move.
Fair enough, and there are some here as well.
There was a statue of a monkey. Some sort of religious significance? The monkey held a board containing more tiles with colored glyphs on them.
And I bet we can't move these ones either.
The tile didn't move at all.
And there's something here that I wager will open once we've solved whatever puzzle is here. This looks like a big puzzle though, a very big puzzle. Let's have a look at the thing on the far left again. I'm sure that there is something significant about it. There are various symbols and they are repeated here. You can see that that symbol is there, and that symbol is there. And if I go all the way over to the right... Ooh, hang on. That symbol and that symbol are also there. Is that there a combination of this one and a different one? Like, say, that one? I think I may be figuring out what's going on here, but it all depends on what I can do with this. Let's see what I can do with this, shall we? Okay, we can move it. That is encouraging. Can we move it in both directions? If I click over here, can we move it in the other direction? Okay, we can. That is good. What items do we have? We have a lot of items, and I'll note that each one of the 3 people trying to stop this ritual from happening now have one of the stones, which is good, because that means that if they're separated out, they can be activated quite easily. And it also means that if one of the 3 people is captured, there's not a 1 in 3 chance that all of the stones fall into the hands of the people that most certainly want the God of Death to appear. Alright, let's have a look at one of these. If I try and activate this one, there's a symbol there, and a symbol there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put them on the top here, and see if that activates them. They need to be in a certain position, I'll wager. This is going to be some very arduous puzzle solving, because that looks really heavy. Okay, that is there. It's up at top. Let's see what happens if I put this up at top as well. Will that solve it? There's only one way to find out, and that is to try. It's very handy that there are some convenient handholds here. I wager there was probably some sort of device that the people that designed this used to turn this a lot easier. Maybe some very large stick. Can we now use this?
The tile didn't want to move.
Okay, so they're not in the correct location. Ah, they're not in the correct location because they don't look the same. Look, that is facing upwards, whereas that is actually facing that way. If I were to move it this way so that this is over here, maybe everything has to be orientated so that they're in the center. There's only one way to find out, and that is to do this. Eventually, we will make some headway. And I think we have made some headway, at least I hope we've made some headway. There haven't been any really big puzzles in the game until now. I may throw a really big one at you. Can we now use this?
The tile moved slightly.
Excellent. We now want to make the other one that makes half of this picture, which is this one here. So let's start doing that, shall we? That's part of it, and we want this one here. So we're going to turn this one twice so that it goes over there. 1, 2. That hopefully should allow me to use another one of the tiles, which then means that we can do something with the other one, which only has 4 tiles on it. Excellent. Can we move this one now?
The tile moved inwards and clicked home.
I think we are 1/4 of the way through this puzzle. Let us now solve another one, shall we? Let us do this one here, which involves this symbol, and I do think which other symbol? This symbol here. So we want those there. And for that, we're going to want, let's see, that there. So we're going to have to pull this one. And then this one twice on this side. Once you figure out this puzzle, this one isn't so bad. Perhaps this is the final puzzle of the game. I highly doubt that. I imagine there's one more that we're going to have to take care of, but we most certainly are in the end game here. Alright, let's use this one, and hope that it works. Okay, now we want to make that one, which has this symbol in the middle. Just turn this, and then again. And what we want is we want that symbol. So we're going to use this side 3 times. Slowly but surely, the puzzle will be solved. I'm surprised there's no time limit or something very pressing that's just on the edge of the screen, which means that we have to solve this quickly. We haven't had many situations where we've been in danger of dying. That said, the situations where we have been in danger have been some very dangerous ones. There we go. This certainly is a very odd change of pace, to have the imminent threat of the return of this god, and then a really slow puzzle. The other two tiles have,
The tile didn't move at all.
Have I got this wrong? I might have got this wrong. I have got this wrong. I want that one, don't I? Yes, I do. I've got it wrong.
The tile didn't want to move.
Okay, that's not good. I've actually got this wrong. So what we want to do is we want to have that one there and this one. There we go. And again. And then we want to do this, and hopefully that will be the right one. I didn't notice that the colour was different on the inside of the image. Maybe this is the correct one that we need to use. At least I hope it is. It would make sense that we're not using the same symbols repeatedly. Then again, those use the same symbol, so never mind. We want to use this one. Fortunately, we can... that one deactivated, because that was the one that we pressed first, so maybe we can do this now. We can. We are now halfway done. Let's have a look at the next one, shall we? Which is this one. For this one, we want that one there and that one. Let's get that one first, shall we? That involves... let's see, what symbol do we want at the very bottom? We want that one at the very bottom, which involves moving this quite a few times. There we go. We're getting there, Nico. We are getting there. In time, we will solve this puzzle. At least I know what I'm doing. I imagine if you didn't know what you were doing here, this would take a long time to figure out until you, like, blindly stumbled on the solution. There we go. Or at least stumbled upon something that would give you progress. Once you figure out what you need to do, you would eventually figure it out how to get to the end of it. There we go. We now want that one. And this is when doing all of this ultimately leads to Nico being killed. It's like, well done, you have solved the death puzzle. And then the room fills with poison gas and Nico dies. I highly hope that is not what happens. There we go, we have that one there. And just to double check that we have the right, we want that one. Okay, we'll find that one, which I do believe is there. So if we use this 3 times on the left, we will get those two lined up, and then we will be 3/4 of the way through. Very nearly done. This is a really, really long puzzle. But it's a good puzzle. Okay, over here a bit more. And then we can activate this one, and then the third... Ooh, we have not got the right one, have we? No, we have not. I've got the wrong one. I need to use this twice more. We don't want to press the wrong tile in. Twice more. There we go. And there we go. The correct one has now been used, and now we can go and be 3/4 of the way through this puzzle. There we go. We should then be able to activate this tile. At least I hope we will. There we go. One more to do, and that is that one and that one, I think. Let's do that one first, because it's the one furthest away from the puzzle itself. We want to get this, I think. That would involve 4 turns this way. Nearly there, Nico. Nearly there. We'll solve this and then we'll save the world, because let's face it, that's what we have to do at this point. Fortunately, this one, very close, in fact just one turn away. And hopefully we can then activate this. I have got the wrong thing, haven't I? Yes, I have. We need to turn this one once more. Always worth double checking. Nearly there. This is a really long puzzle. There we go. This one should then activate, and then we need to do this one. Brilliant. The music is getting very ominous. I do not like that at all. I'd rather the music did not say, "Hey, you're about to die now." We'd rather not die now. There we go. And very nearly there. 1 and 2. Time to solve this puzzle once and for all. We will press in this one, and then be able to press in the final one on the far right. There we go. Have we solved this puzzle now? Yes.
Et voilà! George once told me that there's an act to finding secret doors. I think I'm beginning to get the hang of it.
Yes, you are.
It was the secret exit that I had revealed by solving the glyphs puzzle.
Congratulations! That was a very, very long puzzle. But George is an old hand at finding secret doors. It makes sense that George is not here. He'd have immediately figured out what the solution is. Let's go in, shall we, and see what lies beyond. Hopefully, not death. I really should have saved before going in there.
So I thought, this is it, you know? This is true love. Anyway, I have to leave for a few weeks, and when I come back, what do I find? Damn right. And with who? Labano, that creep.
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, heck. Looks like another dead-end titty poco. Any ideas? I was hoping for something a little more constructive. Never mind, I'll have a look around.
And when we come back, folks, we'll see if we can figure out how to get out of this dead end. It does seem very dark down there. We'd be likely to be eaten by a grue were we to go in there. And then the world would be doomed. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.